Rishus, Mvon of Rabbi, it's a great cover to have been invited to speak here. I was asked to give a title. After giving that title, Chanukah now at challenging times. I gave that title when I was in Gateshead. When I arrived I'm staying in Fort Lauderdale, and I look outside my window, and all of a sudden, it hits me like a bombshell, the challenge was done in this part of the world. You know, we were children. One of the iconic pictures on Chanukah was Reb Meir Posen. I think Reb Meir Posen's Chanukah Neiros with the swastika in the background. This is a famous picture. They've got the picture, they've got the menorah. And I'm looking there, and I'm seeing from my bedroom window what's known as the hard rock guitar. This hard rock guitar. I'm thinking to myself, Atate steht dort, and the Svardim especially, they only like one candle. And there he's looking one little candle, and his children look out and see this $1 billion edifice. Was schreit and was mamish, the neighbors was the ganze Welt, and we're fighting, and it's calling and it's roofed, and we're fighting against that. Let's understand the challenge, a tremendous challenge. But I think there's another challenge as well. There's a challenge very, very much in Olam HaTorah, Baruch Hashem HaZeicha, for many years sitting Kaidel, and that is it's important to appreciate was men tut and was men tut haif. Was tut man haif when man sitzt in man land to sometimes it's kedai to hear from somebody outside chashivas of what we're doing, and let's add to that. Let's understand tonight there's people who are coming in from the White Kehillah. Let's understand and give a little appreciation to those people who live here, an appreciation of Ashreichem, Mateiv Chalkeichem, that is such a gewaltige Mokem Torah in B'Seichechem. So let me just start off with a short maimah, Lechvoida Shel Torah and Lechvoida Achsane Shel Torah. There's a Moedike Gemara, the Gemara says in Shabbos Taf Kuf Daled, Omr Lei Rabodon Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Osu Dardika Ha'idna, Lebei Midrasha. Kleine Kinder came to the base of Medrash, Va'omru Mila, and they said, Torah, da afilu b'mei Yeshua ben Nun la'itmak v'asayu. I'm nicht gehört, they didn't hear, he has our Torah, even b'mei Yeshua ben Nun. And they go through, this is the Bekannte Gemara, Aleph Beis is Aleph Binoki, but Adashna Aleph Sukkim. So you've got here, Dardika, Osa Dardika Ha'itna. Who are these children? And Mechates, little children, have got as Aschus to Machadish Torah Shalei Chidshu. Zingamon steht nicht. But da Yishalmi Megillah Daf Tesvav, versteht Meisa B'Yayim Sagrir. In English you translate that when there was inclement weather, when it was mamish, it was almost impossible to go from gas. Shalei Nichnasu HaChacham Beis Avad, the Beis Medrash was left empty. When she came to reingehen, people stayed at home. So a few children got together and they said, Hayetochen, the Beis Medrash was ein Leidig, they shouldn't be Beis Medrash. Nichnasu Atinoikes, Omrun, Eison, Navin, Beis Vadet, Leyevotel, let's do what we can do. The Beis Medrash shouldn't be, and they came in, and because they came in then, they got Azas, Yata Dishmaya, V'sai Mois HaChachamim, and when the Chachamim came in and saw these children, they wrote it down. In English you would say, mark this page or mark this spot, have a look, watch, have a look, was tutzach. Va'omdu kulam b'nei Adam gedolim, andere sagen das Rebbe Lezer, andere sagen Yeshua, hoye b'nei. Das is the Gemara, and that is the Yerushalmi. But still schwer, because the children come in, b'yayim sagrir, so they come in, and so Mele, there's Zeiche to Azah, what steht on the Gemara? What steht? And if it's not some a story, what lesson to us? So let me share with you another fascinating Yerushalmi. There's a Gemara in Shabbos Taf Yud Gimel, the Gemara says in the sugya of Shema Yata. It's not in Shabbos, Shema Yata. And in Mofed HaKasha, it is in Shema Yata. So Fedi Gemara, Meisve b'shigam le'loimati noikai shel beis rabbanoi mesadrim parshiyos. They were allowed to be mesadr the parshiyos. V'koyin le'yanei. So Gemara gives two terutzim, Roshei parshiyos, Shani tinoikis, Amos rabban alein. As I state in the Gemara. is there's a niffeldik of Nissim Gon. It's mamish a mitzvah lefarseim, mamish a mitzvah lefarseim Nissim Gon. So the Nissim Gon. That in our Gemara, Zoi Satjufta, Pirku Alea, Beis Pirukin Betalmudenu. Bei uns in Gemara, bei uns in Bavi des Tuterutzim. Betalmud Eretz Yisrael, in Yerushalmi, Pirku Piruk Acher, Choviv. This is Balipa me, it's very precious to me. Rotzisa lekoisvekam, something very precious here. Politica Yerushalmi. So to Yerushalmi, what are you worried about with a child? A child, two children are learning Friday night. They're learning Friday night, learning together, and the flame is tottering. The flame is getting very good. So you worried Shemayata? So the name. They're not interested. They'll be quite happy if the candle goes out and upgepatet. It's very nice. They'll be quite happy. It's a politic of Yerushalmi. It's a politic of Yerushalmi. Based on Lamashal. I experience as a pella. Tkiyah Sheifa b'Shabbos is not allowed. Why? Because Shema Yavir. Leipa Nazai, it's only if you it's only bekvitza. So can sein once in Deiris, somebody will be is mevatel tkei sheifer. We know what happens in mevatel tkei sheifer Rachman litzlan. And doch Chazal sagen, we're talking about children of Tanoim. We got children of Tanoim. And aber so steht nicht Shalmi. Aber okay, aber was das say in Chinuch. But to understand what children are. Aber was steht von uns, was steht is that when a person, if the teva of a child is nicht zu lernen, und the child geht negativoi, und sitzt und lernt, kann sicher sein zu Teire, was Yeshua benannt und nicht sicher gewinnt. Das steht da. Das ist ein moediger Wort. Das ist ein niffeldiger Wort mit die Yerushalmis. But, l'chayr it's poshut. It applies to us as well. Because, let's put it in Azar Sprach. We all have a little child inside us. Ja, alle haben da Kind. We all a bisschen kindlich sometimes. And the learning geht nicht so sehr gut. Es tut das in Stub, der tut das, der Parnasse tut das, gesund tut das, und Sachen, was verdrehen den Kopf und da. Und es geht nicht so sehr, man hat nur das Gott gekriegt. Und wir sagen, nein. Und wir skaben negativ. Can when a person begin to understand the Shatter Shmai a person can get? That's number one. But I think it's a much bigger side. I once came across a malbim in Tehillim Kuf Lamed Dalet. You can hear from the opening words of the malbim, v'choshev the malbim is. B'shir hazeh yisad pina nifla. Pina nifla in English you translate an amazing principle. There's something which with alle medafim das wissen. Al yesoidei emuna. Hinei baruchu es Hashem kol avdei Hashem. Baruch Hu es Hashem. Who benches HaKadosh Baruch Hu? The Avdei Hashem bench HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What says bench HaKadosh Baruch Hu? We bench our kinderlach. What says bench HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Zot the Malbim, it's Apir Reb Chaim Voloshin, that Dr. Azay, that all the hashpos in this world have to come down from Shemayim. Haste that we have to switch on, so to speak, or let's put it like this, we have to fill up in Shamayim. We have to fill up the Eitzrus. With our Torah, and we made it come down to that. That's what happens. So what happens if you got a doyer? You've got a doyer which aren't doing what they're supposed to in Torah and mitzvahs. So in Shamayim, so to speak, there's a drought, and the Wasser kommt nicht. There's not enough Hashpos Tevis to come down. Aber kommen the Avdei Hashem ha'oin de Beis Hashem b'leilos. Who are the Avdei Hashem ha'oin de Hashem b'leilos? Steht in Rishonim in Sipurna steht Avdei Hashem ha'oin de Beis Hashem b'leilos. Atem toifsei ha'Torah ha'oin de Beis Hamikdash gam b'leilos lasik b'Torah. I just heard from the Rosh Hashanah. I just heard that da in Beis Hamedrash da in Koil nicht nur lernt man bei Tag, is da a 2 hour seder by Nacht. That's wow. That's nicht Pasha. That's not nicht the Eis b'Torah Leila. The Eis b'Torah Leila. Hetzo how he learns Pshat. S'u yedechem kodesh. So Yedechem Kodesh. Sagt it doesn't mean Lo Yedayim Gashmiyim. Yedei Kodesh. Kodesh is allemal Indian of his spashes of Kedusha. That means somebody who learns Belayla. Let's add this in straight away just to understand, because we're short of time. That when we talk about Balaylos, we're talking about learning in times when it's difficult. Times when it's difficult. It's the Moyedika Maral. Remember hearing this years ago, made a Moyedika Roshimi from Matisyo Zeichatz Alivracha. Matisyo Zokdibba is da a Maral. Maral Feit Akasha, why is Shachris fasting in the morning? We have the kasha, especially in Gateshead, when sometimes there's Mani Tefillah very, very early. Zman Krishma's early and Zman Tefillah's early. Why? Why the Chazal say, get up whenever you want to get up. And then mid-morning, there's a Krishma and a Tefillah, there'll be a Tefillah. Why then? Zog the Maral, that the größte Tainug, was is done in the Welt, is to wake up, sich ibedrehen, and go back to sleep again. Zog the Ein hana yesa mizeh. The hana of that moment when you wake up and ibedrein and go back to sleep, ein hana yesa mizeh. Is the Rebbeinu Shem wants us to be magdish de hana tzbeirei olam. Rebbeinu Shem, I'd love to go back to sleep. Is wiltzig, I'd love to go back to sleep. Aber nein, I'm getting up. Das ist a gewaltige Kedusha. The oidim beveis Hashem beleilos is lav dafke beleilos. It symbolizes. What it means is those who are. What it means is those who are learning in times which otherwise would be difficult to learn. Times which normally wird man nicht gelernt, and they push themselves. They do something. So Yedechem Kodesh Uvorchu Es Hashem. So that's Yedechem Kodesh. Kodesh is sagt the Malbim. The Malbim. That's how they. It's gebait of Kama v'Kama Chazal. So Yedechem Kodesh. Listen to what he says. HaMesheira Metzaya kederech b'nei Adam hamavorchim. Like when you bench a child, you lift up your hands and you put it on top of a child. It's keilu we are mavarech HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which means to say that we create that brachas nashim brecha. We create in Shamayim an oitza which comes down, and from there oitza kommt herab. That means all the siyata d'ishmaya. Was steht da is a moedike zach. Was steht da is. Let's put it away. Let's give it over. Let's give it over in the following way. A person. You can live in a town. And the town is Baruch Hashem. Asach Meister Satira. The many and in the meisters, the Rabbeim who have had slacha. The parents who are matzliach with the chinuch of their children, and it's a gewaltige Stadt. But where does that come from? Where's the source of it? Where's the makair? Where's the makair of that light? In English you'd say, where's the generator? What generates? Azas yata dishmaya. To bring up children nowadays, anywhere in the world is difficult. It's difficult to bring up. Today I had the schus to be in Rabbi Jablon's shul, in school, and I've been in the Beis Yaakov here. And one looks around. I remember, I'll share this with you. My mechatonim come from Fort Lauderdale. So the first time I came here was 19 years ago. I remember it was a Friday morning. My son just got engaged. So my son's future shvag, Yeshua, Josh Levine, said to me, Rabbi Sippa, I'm happy to take you touring. Where do you want to go to? So I said, there's only one thing interests me. I want to see the Moshe Sachinuch though. One day maybe my children will be here. Was für Stadt ist das? Was tut sich da? So he took me to the Beis Yaakov, Brad. It was to the Beis Yaakov. He said, you showed me that to Beis Yaakov. And I remember calling my wife and I said, you could be in Gateshead, you could be in Manchester, you could be any Mokum Welt. You're talking about bring up as our children. Oh, but where does it come from? And the teretz is it comes from the Beis HaMedrash. It comes from the Beis HaMedrash when junge Leute sitzen und lernen. Junge Leute sitzen und lernen with the Mesiris Nefesh, with the Amal, with the Yagir. It's a moedika maisa. So that's the Yesod, that is the Yesod of the Malbim. The Yesod of the Malbim is to understand that when we learn with amala and effort, that fills up the oitzos in Shemayim, and all the hashpos which come down because of those who put in the extra abbot. That's how the Malbim learns. So moedika maisa Dayan Abramsky. And Moshe Mordechai Schulzinger brings this down. When Dayan Abramsky retired, he was sitting in Beis HaMedrash, and he heard that they were building Kiryat Sefer, I think it was at the time. And so he turned around, he said to himself, he says, Abramsky, was tust du schon? What are you achieving? They're building kiryos. They're building kiryot. They're building. You know what it means? You're bringing hundreds and as one day thousands of mishpachas, and they're going to be chadorim. Is going to be. So was tust du? So there's it's noch einmal lernst daf, und noch einmal lernst daf. But what are you achieving? Sagt Dayan Abramsky, nein. It's a grace tos. He says to himself, a grace tos. Sagt Azay. I read out what he says. Somebody who sits and learns, who boine paltin, he's building palaces, shalmala, who boine oilamois, kol mila v'mila shal Torah, oilamois v'oilamois, it's Welten. And he says, la yodim, if we could only have a look, have a blick, was tutzach in Shemayim, v'yevtochim lanu einayim, hayinu roim, ma oisa rega shal Torah. What can ein rega von Torah oifton? Mila achas shal Torah, ma oisa his oiris achas. This is what he writes. So a person has got tirdus, and yet with everything he's misaira, lavai leseda rega kaidem. He makes a big effort with all the tirdus. He appropriate to come 1 minute earlier, 5 minutes earlier to a seder, 5 minutes earlier to a seder. Noch a longer seder. The extra minute. Learn the extra minute afterwards. Kadavina Chanukah, when I was 15 years old, I came home for a Shabbos from yeshiva. And so I came home for a break. So it's Friday night, so after the meal, my father's learning, my father's Zeichet Tzaddik Livracha was learning. My father was one of the Fatzaitige Yidden. He was learning, and I'm sitting there learning. So after 10 minutes, I close my sefer. I said, good night, Daddy, I'm going to bed. Father says, 1 minute. You're going to bed? Why? I said, I'm tired, I came home for a rest. Fine, you go to bed. But I sit down for another 5 minutes. I said, I came home for a break. Another 5 minutes. And I remember that 5 minutes has come out of Riskangen in the Neshama. And I sat down and I got through it. And my father says, as they come and vaccine. You want to grow. It's the extra few minutes. It's the extra little bit. And that's what it means. Let's touch on a broader oifen. What does it mean? Oimdim beveis Hashem baleilos. Baleilos can be many things. First of all, baleilos can be, let's touch people who are hidden from the public eye. They once came to Eliashiv and says, "Me machen Geld for große Talmud Chacham, and we kennen nicht." He sits in this little winkel somewhere by the Ständer. Keiner weiß von nicht von ihm und das. Eliashiv says, "Was sagst du? Nebuch, der glücklichste Mensch in der Welt. Was man lässt dem lernen, mit scheppet dem nicht, and he can learn lefi avos nafshe, was heißt as a glücklicher Mensch." But that's Baleilos. Lemais is Baleilos. There's no big pirsum. He hasn't got his name up in everywhere. I get at Russia and at us. Somebody was amol. There are times. I'm the Hashem Baleilos. In times in life, and everyone has it. The years, the Beinishlim, wer weiß, the Beinishlim nicht mehr Savav gewend, bedafke, that the Yaren in Keidel are usually the years where one has the greatest tirdus. Tirdus HaNefesh, when very often when it's newly married, it's a Wegstell the Shalom Bayis and a Wegstell the Stub, and in that sight, and those Taka who are Matzliach, the Eitona, those are the ones who was Heis for Zeichen and Zeiche sein. Wir dürfen verstehen, I think this is something which is so important. Besides the chavivas of Torah, besides was Torah bringt, Torah bringt as a bracha. I found in Zayah Kodesh steht, Kamo chaviva hat Torah lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Chaviva mikol avodos hamishubachos. Misha oisik b'Torah of hu bei malachim maila v'oyav hu ben atachtoinim b'olam hazeh. HaKadosh Baruch Hu makshiv ledvar of the Beinisham het zu was sagt. Ve'ina oizav oisik b'olam hazeh. The Beinisham never leaves him chayfef olav tomib ein oizav b'olam haba. Aber steht in Zayah Betanai. And that is lasik b'Torah b'koil. Is darf sein with a kol. Sheyetza dvarim mipiv. Shakadosh Baruch Hu v'chol hatzadikim v'ganeden kulam makshivim lekoilei tzarich lahitzi. Person learns azay what a person was a mensch can oifton. So my dike Meiser Rebbe Ephraim Waxman Shlita says once at the time of Rebitzela Peterburger, there was a dike gezeira in Russia against the Chadorim. And they wanted to, and the one who was in charge there was Vice Nebuch, was a Yid, a communist. So they said, let's go along there, and let's Poshet sit with him, and let's mamish tell him was steht in Avarabba. If we can tell him was steht in Avarabba, he'll change things. Herr Bitzler gesagt, Master Größe Tos. Darf nicht wissen, was steht in Avarabba. Wir dürfen wissen, was steht in Avarabba. It's something we have to understand. If we would understand, was steht in Avarabba, das wird schon heruntergenommen der Geseres. Wir dürfen verstehen, wir haben ein Achrayas, but at the same time as an Achrayas, wir haben eine mishundike Kayach. And that's be'emes, das ist be'emes, the limit von Chanukah, in Svarim steht, my Chanukah, the Toner Rabbanon. Stop. What is Chanukah? What is my Chanukah? What's my Chanukah? My Chanukah means azah gezeira, azayfil tumah at that time. Klal Yisrael in such a sakana ruchnin as azayfil azah sakana gashmi is my Chanukah means this is we have to know that. What's the secret? What's the mafteach? What do we do in dairas? In our dairas, azayfil sakana ruchnin, azayfil sakana gashmi. What my Chanukah? Zwei Wörter, the Toner Rabbanon. That's the Koyach HaTorah. But it's a Koyach, it's Chanukah. In Svarim state of all the Yomim Tovim, Chanukah and Purim, there's no Avdallah. Why is there no Avdallah? Because the Limudim from them, davon bleiben ein ganzes Jahr. These are Limudim, wir darf mitnehmen these Limudim. There's times now, mit Leben Zeiten. Reb Nosson Sherman Shlita writes, it's brought down, he says 50 years ago, he was just after the Yom Kippur War, 51 years ago, there was a ganze Asifa, and Reb Shapsi Yudelevich, Zeichet Salih Vachot Geret, I once was Zeichet to hear him, and Mishundike Magid, Geret, and there was a huge amount of Chilayim there and everybody else. So he said, I want to tell all of you here, what do the Avreichim and Yeshiva Bochim do? So they're all smiling here. What did they do? We won the war. What did they do? So he said, he said, you should know that when the war started, there was Azab Pachad in Eretz Yisrael, Azab Pachad, that the government asked the Chevre Kedisha to prepare 80,000 Kfarim, Rahman al-Itzlan. In the end of the day, they were Rahman Itzlan, but there were only 2,700, but they paid 80,000. So Shapsi Yudlevich says to the Eilam, and tell me, so who saved the rest of the Eilam? And that is the B'nai Torah. That is the B'nai Torah. And das is unser Hashkafa, as Rabbeinu B'chaim, Perekei Avos, B'zeis ani beteach is B'Torah, B'schus im Tachen Layamachane, Layira Libi, Pri HaTorah is Kiloyin HaOyavim. Das darf man meimen sein, Ibechazren, that the Pri HaTorah is Kiloyin HaOyavim, Kol Zman Yisrael Oiskim B'Torah, Loi Yehei, Loi Hoyu Nizukin, Thou Miskabrin Aleiveim. There's a medrash in Eichod, and the medrash says when they came along and they said, who are the Neturei Karta? And they showed him the Home Guard, the IDF at that time. And he said, Elu Neturei Karta, Elu Charuvei Karta. Who insult them? They call them so they're not in a Turi Kata. Why the Machriva Kata? Because if you think that they're the ones who save the town, then they're the Machriva Kata. Who are the ones who save the town? Who are the ones who save the town? It's about Aturim in Devarim. Im Yeh Talmud Chochem Echel Ben Aboim Elef Ein Tzrichin Lo Mogim V'Lo Reimach. I want to share with you two maisim. When I was in yeshiva at that time, it was the first time that there was Avrechim from there's a town near Gateshead called Sunderland, and they went I think it was to Muncie to raise money, and the Balabatim in Muncie said, "Was heißt? Aniye ircha koidmins? Why should we support them?" And they heard this Iberal, so they went to Rabbi Yaakov, Kamenetsky Zeichet Zadivracha, and Rabbi Yaakov sagt, "Der macht so große Tos." Aniye ircha koidmins are in stocker, aber Chaim Veloschen sagt, as Torah halt auf der Welt. Who knows whose Torah halt auf der Welt? Efshe in a pina, in a little peanut sonua somewhere in Welt, sitzt der Talmud Chochem allein, and sitzt allein. Efshe halt auf der Welt. Efshe halt auf der Welt. So I say it's nicht da as a Sach. Tanya de Messiah alei. Tanya Messiah alei. Is a Belieber Wachtfeigel. Gesagt achsidische Meise. Sagt he said he heard it from the Heusbacher of the Skolia Rebbe, who had a dream he had on when the Yom Kippur War broke out. An hour or two before it broke out, the Rebbe dreamt that someone said that Klal Yisrael was in a greater sakana, and he was shown a globe, and he was shown Yidden all over the Welt. It's a Peldige Meise. And when it stopped in Lakewood, he was told that the Torah mitoichat chak in Lakewood is going to save the Yishuv in Eretz Yisrael. It's a peldige Sach. It's a peldige Sach. It's a peldige Sach, but es darf nicht sein eine peldige Sach, weil das ist unser Munna. Das ist unser Munna. Das ist unser Betochen. Das darf man wissen, is to be Messiah ke'ena Psyche. Was für a Korsa Toiv darf der Stadt haben, whether it's North Miami Beach, whether it's ganz Florida, the ganze Welt, as da Avrechim who sit here a la Teure mit der Mesiris Nefesh, mit Hayegia, Ashreichem for you. Understand what you're doing. Yehirat Zoin, as alle brachas, as we state in the Malbim, that the Oimdim Beis Hashem Baleilos, they bring down the brachas. You should all be the tzinoi for the brachas, and I say the brachas should come to you through you, and every one of you in the eigene mishpachas is ein großer nachas mit jeder Kind, nachas allein to be able to reach the große madregas was man kann zukommen zu Torah, nachas von the Kinder in gesund. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Is that what you wanted?